Yes, hello everyone, and welcome to another Dad Pants. It's another Getting to Know the Pants panel episode. If we're going to take advice off these bastards, we at least want to know where they're coming from, so yeah, let's get to know them a little better. Also, we're going to talk a bit about the Dad Commandments. So we're going to start getting a few under our belt, and we'll talk about them as well in the next episode and really flesh them out. So, without further ado, the Pants Panel. Well, yes, hello everybody. This is a podcast called Dad Pants. Why is that? Well, because we're dads and we wear pants. Mostly. Yeah, correct. So, we've got a little panel of dad experts here. We've got a bunch of dads. Let's just talk about dad stuff and what it's like to be a dad. And, you know, help each other out with our dad issues. Let's ease into this podcast with a bit of dad news, okay? There's dads out there doing good work, and we really want to celebrate them. So, this is a bit of dad news from September. Railway workers suspended after man cave found under railway. So, we all know that being a dad, one of the tropes of being a dad is liking a good man cave. All right? So the story goes as follows. Authorities were tipped off anonymously and were told the workers would hang out and get drunk and party in this room. 3 men have been accused of creating a man cave underneath New York's Grand Central Station.
Wow.
The 3 railroad workers found the storage room under track 114 and filled it with a television, fridge, microwave and futon sofa. Investigators from the Metropolitan Transportation Authority said it appears the employees, a wireman, a carpenter foreman and an electrical foreman, used the secret break room when they were supposed to be working. When the authority was tipped off about the room in February 2019, the anonymous tipper said the workers would hang out and get drunk and party in the room. So it goes on a little more, but yeah, what about that? Building a secret man cave underneath your work and just hiding in there when you're meant to be working. That's dad areas, isn't it?
That's exceptional. Now, I've got so many questions. I'd really like to know, if they were all partying down there, how were the trains actually running? Well, I suppose they weren't drivers, were they? They weren't. It wasn't like the drivers were just letting the trains go off by themselves and they're, downstairs having a good old time.
Yeah, and it's not everyone down there. I don't think it's every transit worker down there at the same time. I mean, I haven't read the story. It might be.
They are shift workers, I think, yeah.
Well, hey, we don't know how much storage they needed. Like how big is a storage room? Is another question.
I just want to know who tipped them off. Like, who's
the dog?
Who would say...
Oh, was it one of the 3? Did they have an argument?
Oh, it's like Treasure of Sierra Madre. Like, just everyone trying to... Just sitting there eyeing each other off, going, one of us is going to bring this down.
Fighting over futon space, surely.
I'd like to know how they got TV reception under there.
That's a bloody good question. But let me run through the occupations again. A carpenter foreman, an electrical foreman, and a wireman.
There you go.
Now, what's a wireman? Does anyone know? Maybe it's a TV wire that he's gotten somehow to scurry through the crawl space all the way down into this secret room.
He's just like rerouted some of the Ethernet underneath the
Just
all the internet
the
stuff. Yeah,
constantly.
testing the speed.
Speed test.
Well, if there's one thing dads like to do, it's testing the speed of their internet. Hey?
Well, this dad sure does.
Yeah.
Hang on, we go.
Yeah, how is the speed?
Let's get a speed check.
Speed check, good. Speed check actually getting over 100 megabit at the moment.
Yeah,
nice.
And looking to see whether or not I can get onto a faster plan. But it's very expensive. Very expensive.
Are you FTTP there?
Yes.
Excellent.
No, it is.
Who's got a kind of
a heart monitor? Is that what you're hearing?
Who's got a kind of low-budget movie bomb from the 80s going on in the background?
I think it's Wigo.
Is it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because when you're talking, we go, I'm getting as Buckland said, the low bomb frequency. Yeah, it seems to have stopped now.
Well, it's not because I'm not talking.
Well, then what are you listening for?
Oh,
The sound you're not making.
well,
Anyway, Wiggins, here's the next question I have about, it's dad related.
Yep.
You've recently got solar power, is that correct?
that is correct.
So are you checking the solar speed? Are you checking
How much you're getting.
checking how much energy you're getting every day?
Yeah, but I'm not trusting the app. Like I just I
okay,
don't,
why is that?
I don't necessarily feel like it's giving me legitimate data.
Well, now, this is like,
but I
this
don't
is-
know where
you
I'm
are-
getting that
you are
from.
Uber dad now, because not only are you checking it, but you're questioning the apps.
Yeah. That's like PhD dad.
But I have no
PhD dad.
reason not to test it, not to trust it. I just feel
In your bones.
I feel it in my bones. Yeah, I feel it in my waters and also in my bones.
The UV's high, everything's high. Where's my input? Where's my output?
Are you generally suspicious or just mainly solar suspicious?
I'm not generally a suspicious person. But I do feel I'm a little concerned in the fact that I can't access the information. Now, I can't access the information when the sun's not out, right? So it's like the solar panels are actually running
The app.
the app. Exactly. They are
whole
running.
office.
They're running the generator.
The whole
all
office,
the
the
power.
whole shebang is all run by the sun. As soon as the sun goes, everyone goes to their basement bunker and party's on.
That's right. I do have a room underneath my house that I allow 3 men into most days.
They never come out, but
As long as one of them's a white
3 in, none out. 3 in, none out.
that out.
That's the way it works.
So, I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to get to the root of this suspicion, though. So, when you testing your pool levels, mate, are you looking at that pH strip and going, "Nah, I'm not buying that,"
bullshit.
or where does it end?
Hang on, sorry, I'm getting the bomb's about to go off.
Oh, no.
And I,
Yeah,
Is it
it's-
I don't think it's me.
Could be me.
All right, so I take my pool water to the pool shop to get it tested.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, always.
This is
Because
Dude, this podcast
okay.
is just us sitting at the feet of this man learning how to be the Uber dad.
Uber dad.
so I take my pool water to the pool shop to have it tested, right? Because they have like their machinery, their testing equipment is of such high quality. Because I didn't trust my own testing capabilities. I had my own testing system, and
Chop.
in the end it was just too many numbers, too many
Can we
colours.
list this down as one of the dad commandments? So, dad commandment number 1: know your limitations.
All right, that's good. Let's get these going.
Ooh.
Dad commandments.
What can you do? What can't you do? That's important.
Okay, so what's an example? Do you have any other examples of that?
Well, at what point do you hire a professional to someone compared to watching a YouTube video and going, "Yeah, I'll give that a crack"?
Yeah.
So, what's your personal cutoff limit for the, and obviously for pretty much everything, but yeah, like at what point? So I think that's a good one. Like looking at your pool levels and things like that. That's, as I say, understanding your limitations, wanting the best possible outcomes for yourself and your family. Anyone considered a bit of home dentistry work at all? Anyone in there?
At one stage I did consider some electrical work, but chose
Wisely.
chose wisely, and I'm still here to tell the
There was an
tale,
old
so-
man with his face melting off next to you. He has chosen poorly.
Was this thrift related or ego related?
I think, like every now and again, as a human being, and definitely as a male, you think to yourself, you know what, I'm going to try something new. I'm going to try and learn something new.
Right.
And I don't think.
And the best place to learn
electrical work
something
was
new
the
is on
best.
your house with
Yeah.
electrical wires.
Well, see, I drew the line just before that, but I thought, you know what, I could definitely that's something handy to learn how to do.
You've got a little bit of in that wheelhouse. You've had a bit of install experience and stuff like that. I'm not saying you're a qualified Sparky, but you're not a complete rank amateur. It's not like you've walked in straight off the street and gone, yeah, I'll give that a crack. You've kind of been in that wheelhouse a little bit, so I can understand where you're coming from there. So what made you turn your back on it in the end? Was it just that? Was it more not that I can't do it, it's just that the risks outweigh the benefits?
Oh, well, being a gambling man and a pretty bad gambler as well, maybe that could be a dad commandment as well. Surely there's something in there. But it was most definitely the risk-reward ratio was way off the charts, because the reward was the light would turn on. The risk was I would die. So,
how badly did your wife want the light on?
Yeah, but if you turned off the whole power to the house, and so your risk reward
Can't
then
get back
becomes
on.
It doesn't come back on, or you don't have a cold beer, or whatever. So there's a risk, I suppose, variation that you could put into place there.
Yeah,
and there's also the variation of the phone call you need to make prior to stuffing anything up versus the phone call you have to make after you've fucked it.
yeah.
So two completely different levels of conversation.
And does the conversation with your wife change as well? Like, if she says call someone immediately and you say, no, hang on, let me have a look at it first.
Yep.
And then if you fuck it up, then you have to have the conversation with her that says, yeah, we'll call someone. It's going to cost 18 times more than what it would have because I've blown every circuit in the house.
Yeah, see,
that's it, yes.
I just feel that, like, there's two prongs to it. I'm really busy, so I don't feel my time needs to be spent on something I'm probably going to end up being bad at, and
Fair.
and is going to cause me stress when I find out I'm bad at it, and that I'm causing dramas. So I may as well get someone in from the get go. Secondly, I don't know about you, but any amount of money is worth not having my wife angry at me for being a fuck.
There's another commandment right there.
That's
right.
Yes.
So what was that phrasing there exactly?
Any amount of money is worth a happy wife.
Yeah, not being annoyed.
I think.
Any amount of money is worth my wife not having the shits with me.
Yeah. Or having something over you rather than shits, because that might allude to just constantly buying things as well.
Well, that's exactly right. I think there needs to be some caveats placed on that, but we'll refine it. This is what it's all about. This is a working document.
As long as our wives, as long as the wives don't see that commandment, we'll be fine.
Yeah, sure. And look, we'll get some socials up, Dad Pants. Look for the show, and if you've got any suggestions for commandments or tweaks to our commandments, let us know.
Can I just say before we move on? Sorry, just to quickly jump on the clothesline bandwagon. I actually had to replace my clothesline a couple of months ago.
Did you do it, or did someone else?
I did it myself.
Hey,
I did it myself.
He's got his arms raised in ecstasy.
I did.
Wow.
Oh, look, I was very happy with myself. It's been working a treat over the last couple of months. Luckily, they pretty much just come in a stock standard size when you hang it off your wall. It's not a Hills hoist. So I got to take the one out. Had to drill some holes in brick.
Yes, I did that too. I did that when we moved. We bought our house, and there was a clothesline in the weird conservatory room that we have, whatever the hell it is, which was not helping anyone. And then I had to do the exact same thing. We go drill holes into brick, and that was some hairy moments there where I was like, "Am I doing this right?"
Is this actually in the spot that it needs to be in? Because brick it's like brick moves. It's like brick is fluid, but it's not.
So look, I think this would be a very different podcast if we had talented kind of trades people, at least one of us with any kind of handyman talent of any kind.
So has anyone considered doing the flat pack fiver or anything like that? So I consider myself, because we're tight asses, we've got it. I'm the flat pack king. Like I've done everything from cots to drawers to cupboards to, quite happy to. That's my kind of area of manliness. I get my, I've got my bendy drill gun, bendy bit, so it gets in the kind of corner bits of the beds. Based on that, our bed's not the most stupidest thing. Anyway, so why is every bed so fucking hard to put together? Like, ridiculous.
Oh, let me tell you,
gets right into the wrong spot. Like, fuck. Anyway.
Anything with the trundle is a nightmare.
That's not the kind of thing I expect to hear from the flat pack king.
Oh no! Look, it's doable. It's doable, but it's just incredibly impractical.
Anything with a trundle, Ellis, is a friggin' nightmare.
Oh yeah, trundles aren't fun. You can do it, but it's not fun.
When we moved in, I had a huge queen size bed for the wife and I, and a trundle bed for my daughter. And putting our bed together took me less than 2 hours, and putting her bed together took 7 days. Like, it just did not end. It just
still going now.
It's still going. She doesn't know it's very faulty and is about to collapse, but it is. Yes.
It's on milk crates.
Well, our key demographic of tradies having a long lunch listening to podcasts they're going to be laughing at us, laughing at these stories.
These clowns.
Oh, now that's a good point. That's a good point. Could you come back from a tradie laughing at you, shaking his head at you as he's seeing what the handiwork is? Is that another fear as well, Wiggo? If you do a half-assed job, then get the tradie in, he's going to be judging you as well.
Well, I have just had a flashback to a moment when I was doing odd jobs in England, and one of the people that I played cricket with was a plumber, and he said, "Come on, you can come on the work site with me, come and do a couple of days with me," and he said, "Dig a trench." And he came back 2 hours later, and I'd sort of dug a bit of a trench. Like, it wasn't. It was sort of a bit of a hole. It wasn't much trench-like about it. And he came over and he's like, "You bloody useless." Grabbed the shovel, and within maybe 3 minutes, he'd like quadrupled the size of my hole, and it started to actually look like a trench.
I reckon that plumbers are actually mole people, because they're fucking incredible. When you watch a plumber dig a hole, it is something worthwhile. Sit back and watch it. You're like, fuck me, how do they do it? There's something about the technique. They can dig a hole.
Well, I have to, again, like this. I didn't realise this podcast was just going to talk about tradie events that have happened in our lives. But when we last year had our kitchen pipes, when we moved in, obviously we didn't have to do a full test, but the kitchen pipes were pretty clogged, and then we got the plumbers in, and then they were like, "Well, where's the plans?" And then they looked at the plans, and I'm like, "These plans are weird. Like, where the pipes are, that's going to be hard to get to." And we'll go and test it. We'll, put sulfuric acid or acid down it, and they do all this stuff. And then they just said, "Oh yeah, it actually runs out into your courtyard here. So what we can do is we can do something, but what we're going to do is cut a big hole in the floor here, and then we'll be able to get to your drains and fix it. So, we'll get a little mini bobcat in here and we'll fix it up, and then we'll drill it and get in there." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "So if we've got the go-ahead, that'll probably be about $5,500, but if you've got the go-ahead, we'll get straight to it." And I was like, "What? I don't want you to do that." And he was so disappointed. They were so excited of the idea of that they were, like, this day was going to be,
Archie, mate, turn the mini bobcat around. We're not going to eat it today. No, he's a soft cock. Fucking soft cock right here. No mini bobcat.
He's like, I'm going to dig a big hole in this
fucking kitchen floor. Oh, I thought he was talking about the kitchen floor.
Yeah, and I could tell in their face, it wasn't about the job cost. It was going to be $5,000. Yeah. It was like, we get to dig a hole in someone's house with a bobcat, and they were just like, "Oh yeah, so yeah, if we got the go ahead, we'll get to it." And I was like, "I don't want you to do that."
I thought you were going to tell us about the time that you had fatbergs in your pipes.
Yeah, that's it. That's where the fatbergs were.
Oh right.
Yeah, they were the same people that were put off slightly by my enjoyment of the term fatberg and asking them about like, when was the What's the biggest fatberg they'd seen?
Well, if you want to hear more about that, go and listen to the Bit Weird But Fair Enough, I guess, podcast. Look, I have to wrangle things here a little, guys, because we're running out of time. I have to throw our discussion topic out because we've talked about tradie issues for too long.
Yep.
Do you think we should add to our commandments here, thou shalt always involuntarily act blokier around tradies?
Good one.
That's probably something that needs to get in there.
Well, sorry,
Yes.
sorry. Just I don't want to interrupt too much, but we go in your line of work. Do you have to? How many times a day do you change your personality for a tradie coming in, housewife coming in?
Hey, you have to explain what he does.
Well, he's in retail. So what does do you change tradies coming in? Got to drop my voice, say mate a lot, drop a few F and C bombs in your sales pitch.
Yeah, well, look, occasionally it is pick your audience. And, yeah, look, at least, I think, how many times today? At least 5 or 6 different times. I did talk to a couple of different tradies today. And then you talk to the 90-year-old man that wants to complain about having someone come out and install his television for him.
Yeah.
And then you talk to the kid that wants to buy the R-rated game, and then you talk to, so there's all these different types of people. But the tradies are usually pretty good, Like the good thing about tradies is they tend to know what they want.
They're in and outers, aren't they? They don't fuck around with, I'm not really sure. They've done their research.
Exactly.
They know what it is.
Yeah.
Yep. And most of them have got a bit of, they're happy to flash a bit of cash too. So,
Right.
How do you talk if a tradie walks in with a theatre critic?
Yeah.
don't know. I can't even know what I would do.
I
in that
want to hear
situation.
more. This is for another episode. I want to hear more about Wiggins talking to a young kid looking to buy an R-rated game and dropping those filthy TikTok references into his conversation, being up with the kids. I want to hear about that. But anyway, sorry, Buckley.
No, sorry. I've just got 2 quick things I want to fit in before we leave. We've got about 5 minutes here. I want to do something called the wellness whip. Hang on, my wife is rustling a plastic bag. I'll wait for her to go past. Okay, our cat's done a nasty chud. That's why she's got a plastic bag. All right.
Good times.
So, the wellness whip. I think we need to acknowledge as fathers that we can't really look after other people if we can't look after ourselves. Right? So I'm really interested to hear what you're doing for yourself this week. Okay, so has anyone got anything, interesting or out of the ordinary they've done for themselves this week to make themselves, feel better, and so they can therefore look after other people better?
Look, I'll jump in here. I've started swimming again, which is good. It's good for my brain. Allows me to switch off. And I've also joined a beer club. So both of those things.
You are Uber Dad.
Really pointing
Bow
me in the
down
right
to
direction.
Uber Dad.
He is alphaing us with his
his dadness.
right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I did. I watched a new show that's on Binge called The Butchers, which is like one of those shitty cooking competitions, but instead it's just butchers carving up big chunks of meat. So that included. So I was a chef in a previous life, so I've always been a frustrated butcher. So I really did enjoy watching this one, and there's been some weird animals on there, but it inspired me to get out and get the old whetstone out and get all my knives up to spec, and deboned a couple of chickens and did a rump. So trying to keep that eye in there. So that was a nice bit of moment for me. Just a bit of. I think it's one of those things where I can feel that it's in my wheelhouse, but it's not but it's manly enough as well. There's something about being a butcher. It's like man cooking.
It's aspirational too. There's nothing more daddy and blokey than
You'd like to think that you'd be able to. Well, that's it. You'd like to think that if when the apocalypse comes, you can go and bring down a couple of deer or roo or whatever might happen to be around, and you can carve those babies up and still have a good barbie. That's the
you're
dream.
right. You do like to think.
You do like to think that.
I've changed my mind too. It's sounding less like a bomb from an 80s movie and more like people having sex on a really cheap-ass Office Works desk chair. So, let's just finish off here. Oh, sorry, did anyone have any more? I've got 2 minutes on the clock
I'm similar to Wigo. I started playing soccer again for the first time in 7 years, which is like outdoor soccer. I've been playing indoor all this time, but that all got shut down with the COVID. So I've been playing outdoor, which has been very enjoyable. But my legs...
So you've been walking like a mummy for the last couple of days.
Exactly right. My legs aren't happy with the decision, but the rest of me is.
All right, let me get my final segment away before I run out of Zoom time here. So a slice of apple pie is $2.50 in Jamaica and $3 in the Bahamas. All right? So those are the pie rates of the Caribbean.
Hey, nice one, yeah. I did have a really good joke to tell, but it's still under construction, so...
Okay, well, there's plenty more episodes of this. More episodes of this coming. The Dad Pants.
Yeah, there was a kidnapping at my local school. But he woke up. Anyway.
Hey. All right.
Hang on. There was... what's the best thing about Switzerland?
Their flag is a big plus.
Yes. Thank you, Richard.
I said I wasn't going to do that. Sorry,
Listen, fellas, there's more than one episode of this. You can space them out.
Plenty more.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'm glad we're starting this journey of... Well, I don't know if we're trying to be better dads. We're just talking about being dads, aren't we?
Yeah.
I think maybe in time that will make us better dads.
Yeah, we can always hope. Farewell.
Indeed. And I agree. And thank you very much.
There you go, Pants Panel. I'm sure you know him better now. Sorry for the weird-ass sound issue going on through there. Still not too sure what it was. Waiting for, a cop car to drive down an alley and burst through some boxes on the way to trying to stop that low-budget bomb. But either way, hope you enjoyed it. Socials. Please get in contact. Please chat to us. Let us know what you think of the Dad Commandments. Give us some suggestions. We'll talk about them more next episode. See you later.